Lyric, my friend, cheers.
Cheers.
So tell us a little bit about this drink here.
Right now we have...
Since you made it. Oh, whoa,
natural.
whoa. Okay.
All natural. 100% no syrups added. We have blueberry that's been muddled and blended. Peach that's been muddled, strained, put right into the cup. No simple syrup, just get all the sugars from the juices and then straight vodka.
Okay. So, and what do we have in this dangerous looking glass right here?
We have Absolute Lime. This right here, this is getting nice started, honestly.
So straight Absolute Lime.
Straight Absolute Lime.
Okay, so basically the loser
yeah,
has to drink this.
absolutely.
Absolutely, no pun intended.
Yeah, you see.
Okay, let's put that down. Okay, I'm not going anywhere near that because I'm not losing today, obviously. All right, white goes first, I guess. So let's play. How long has it been since you've played a real game of chess?
When I say a real game, I've never played a real game. I've only played virtually.
It's your first time?
Yeah.
So this is a good chance that I'll probably win. If I lose, that would be extremely embarrassing, and we're probably not going to put this episode out if I lose.
Let's try to get that.
Yeah, it's just, I like to bend the rules in my favor.
I catch on pretty quick. We're going to see.
Okay. Your move, sir.
So that's refreshing. My pawns can move.
Yeah, so basically on the first move, your pawn can move like 1 up or 2 up on the first move, yeah. But they could only kill diagonally. So they can't kill straight. So if you go here, we can't do anything there. Yeah.
Not the total.
Which, it's not the worst move.
Not the total.
So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like I've always really been into chess. Like I've played when I was in grammar school. I was like much better back then, but you're kind of beginning in chess a little bit. But since you moved here to Miami, and you guys have been running around, like meeting people, and then also just working here. Like a lot of people don't know, like this is the room that you actually work in, and I'm right here. Do you what type of strategies have you kind of like learned during your time here in Miami so far? Like that could be similar to like chess, because the game of chess is like all about like strategy and thinking like 10 steps ahead. So have you adopted anything in that sort of philosophy since you've been out here in Miami?
Consistency. It
might seem more. Tell me more.
Consistency might seem like a simple thing to have or a simple thing to do, but seeing other people's workflow, I've noticed one thing that's never going to make you have a bad position, and that's always having something prepared. Just like how you see in chess, there's the players on the board that are there to be moved. If you don't have the proper stock of music or the proper knowledge or skill set that's in stock, then you can't make a move when it's time to play. So if I was missing pieces, I wouldn't be able to play with you.
Yeah, it would be much harder. The more pieces I take from you, the harder it's going to be to win.
Yes.
So, by the way, I moved my queen here. Yeah.
Now what I'm thinking is...
So you have a chance right now to either be aggressive or defend. My style of playing, I think that's also similar to like how I approach music too, is like I like to be aggressive is kind of a negative undertone, but I like to be, if I have an idea or if I feel something instinctually, I like to move on it quick, and I like to be on the offense a lot. Hence why my queen is out so early. So yeah,
I don't like
something to think about. I know.
I don't like that
what
at all.
can I say? I'm an aggressor when it comes to this.
This is going to be quite a feat, I must say, because I feel every move I'm thinking about, but doesn't mean I know what I'm doing.
Totally. No, it's all a learning process. Like you shouldn't feel bad, right? It's like every move we make, even in the music industry or just anything we're doing, it's like there's a good chance that we're probably making the wrong move.
Yes.
Or we're making a move that doesn't see immediate results, but it's a move that will lead us to the pathway to where we want to get to, which is all chess is. It's like, most people move their pawns first, and anyone can move any pawn they want, but it's hard to tell what type of game that person's trying to play or what their plan is in their mind just by a simple pawn. So you kind of have to like, that's where patience comes in. That's where like strategy and zooming out and seeing, okay, why did this person move here? What are they planning next? Man, it's the same thing with music, bro. It's really the same thing.
See, what I'm used to doing is when I'm playing online, I have a choice of when I choose a certain, let's say player, it tells me what I can do. Like you have this line and that line or this direction, and I didn't memorize that, so I don't have that guideline. And in life, I know that sometimes you have guidelines, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You just gotta memorize exactly what you need to do.
It's crazy. See, I'm being very aggressive. So when me and you met, I met you in Tomei at one of my Past the Aux events, and was it 16 or 17? It was probably 17.
17, not 16.
Yeah. So I met you guys in 2017. You came to one of my Past the Auxes, and it was in Detroit, where you guys are from.
Yes.
And I basically rented a private studio. 25 of you guys came, special invite, and you guys played music. We vibed out. And then a couple days later, I did one in North Carolina. What was after that?
It was Chicago.
Chicago, that's right. So then I went to Chicago, I think the next day. And you guys were there again.
Correct.
So I was like, oh, interesting. This guy and this girl are here again. This guy, Lyric, and this girl, Tomei. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, that was awesome. I was like, dude, it's really good to see you guys again. And then I did I think it was North Carolina or one of those. It was the third one.
Yes.
Good move. Wait, you can't do that actually.
No? Is it
so I didn't see it. So this is your bishop, but the bishop cannot move over your pawn.
So it has to be.
So it has to be open. Yeah, it's got to be clear path.
I see.
So I met you guys for the third time, 3 Past the Auxes in a row, and you guys had purchased 3 tickets to come see me 3 times in a row.
Correct.
So then I brought you guys to the side. I took you guys to the side, and I'm like, okay, guys, you remember the convo?
I do.
I was like, you guys are here again. What's your deal? What are you working on? What's up? And fast forward, we ended up working a lot together. You guys are, signed to the publishing family. Shout to Empire. And we've got placements together, and you guys are literally cranking here every day in this house.
Yes.
What type of lesson did that teach you that you think up and coming producers, artists, just people that are pursuing something, what did that teach you, in terms of like the decision you made at that moment and how it panned out? Like what type of lesson did you learn from essentially believing in yourself and taking that plunge?
There's no reward if you're not risking, and the biggest lesson that comes out of that is as much time as you put into your art itself is as much time as you need to put into being outside, into going meeting other people and seeing other things that involve what you do. So I don't think anybody should stay in a basement or in their room or in their home studio for 3, 5, 10 years without having that same amount of time going to studio sessions, concerts, events, clubs, meet and greets, whatever that is, to put yourself in that environment. Because once you do get in that environment, you won't know what to do unless you're in it. Or no one's going to hear your music just from online. Like they can, but for the most part, it doesn't really help if they don't have the face value part. And that was the most important thing, because I can watch all your videos and podcasts. I can go listen to every record, but hearing you speak live and seeing everyone else and having conversations with them, that's something I can't necessarily just sit at home and experience or get that same type of information. Yeah. So that's what I took away from that entire thing.
Yeah. Amazing. While we're sitting here and we're doing this, is there anything that you've observed about my process or stuff that I've done that you're sort of curious about, that you want like sort of like a more in-depth explanation of like kind of why or / how I tend to do things? And also it could be specific too if you want.
My apologies.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Ooh. There's a lot of things that you do that I've either understood or I'm still trying to decipher or crack the code onto. And until recently, what the biggest thing was your consistency. It was just showing up in the first place. Regardless if you make 10 pieces of music a day or if you made one, you still showed up. And I couldn't really wrap my head around that as a lifestyle or to know if that's something that I really was interested in to myself, because everyone's process is different.
Yeah.
You know, there are some people who make a lot only on weekends, and you know, everyone has different things at night, daytime, straight, first thing in the morning. But it wasn't really that. It's just you would show up.
Yeah.
And I feel that there are days that you don't want to show up and you still do
anyway.
Still do.
Yeah. Tell them a little bit about like how often you see me here, like what's my schedule like.
So
because people don't believe me that like I'm pulling double shifts. By the way, speaking of that, check. Sorry to do it during mid combo, but gotta do that and then.
So okay. Wild way to do that. But it's you say that you're a Monday through Friday guy. And for the most part, you are. You come in at 9 o'clock in the morning and you leave around 5:15. And then most people's days are over. But then you return around 8 o'clock and you leave 12, sometimes 1, right? And then sometimes, you know, it's Saturday and like, yeah, I'll see you Monday. And then Saturday night, you're like, hey. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're not taking any time off. You're here. You're going right back into it. And then you crank out a few more. And then boom, okay. And Sunday, I'm like, okay, he's definitely not coming back. And there you go. You're here at some point for some hours, and then you come Monday through Friday, still, regardless, not missing a day. You don't miss a day Monday through Friday. Sometimes you do take the weekends off, but it's like the day and the night. And that is the thing that I haven't ever been around or seen anyone else do.
Yeah.
So I had a reference point of what I heard and what I seen online, but it's different from actually being into it.
Yeah.
And seeing someone do it every time. And it was a big core change for me to get into that lifestyle, because you think you have to do so much to achieve something when you don't have any example in front of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been such a reward, because I hear other people that just don't do that.
Yeah.
And I was one of those who just did not do that.
Yeah.
But as of recent, I've been adopting that. It took me months to get that mental breakthrough, but it feels nice.
Yeah. No, very nice. And I didn't want to bring that up just to like, oh, guys, like, look what lyrics said, like I work a lot. It's like not even about that. It's really more of, okay, it's like I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm blessed to have accomplished, all these things, but I still have that same hunger and that same like drive and ambition that I had before all this shit, And so showing up in the morning and squeezing, every ounce of my free time into the thing that I love, the thing that defines who I am, only just makes the most sense, right? And it's not to say that like I'm sacrificing X, Y, and Z. Sure, there's sacrifices. We all have like time management, things that we deal with, depending on the cards that we're dealt. But like I have a daughter now, you know what I mean? And I have to be a father, and I have to be a husband, and just an overall provider for a lot of people, or for a good handful of people. And so, showing up is step one. There's days, you've seen it, where I'll show up at like 8:30, 8 o'clock, and like we'll be hanging out, smoking hookah, and then I won't fire up until 10.
Yeah.
But that's part of the process. I'm here. Mm-hmm. That thing that I fire up, that I create, whether it's like a beat or a loop or whatever, an email I sent or like a pack I sent out, could be that one thing that, gives me like this big ROI, this big return on my time investment. And so it's like, I don't think it's about working harder or not even necessarily smarter. It's just like show up to the thing and see what happens. Like every time I come here, I show up, I don't really have an agenda. Like we just decided to shoot this episode 1 of this, which by the way, guys, we have a new chessboard on the way that is going to be able to we're going to be able to superimpose the board on the screen,
Really cool.
so you guys can follow with all the pieces in real time while we're doing this. So that's gonna be cool. Look out for that. And we have some lighting stuff. So bear with us. It's not like perfect right now, but we're getting there.
Oh, bro.
And by the way, it's called Mindset. So thank you for tuning into episode 1 of Mindset. That's what we're doing right now. If you're confused. So anyway, hit the like and subscribe, motherfucker.
You really said it.
So yeah, so that's what it is, man. It's just showing up. Because I know if I show up here, whether I make 10 beats or half of a beat, or just shoot emails out, or maybe do some programming and some AI stuff, I know that I came and I made some type of progress that day.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about that. I feel good, because little progress is better than no progress. Okay? How can we open this up here? And I can't wait, because this is going to be really cool, because in future episodes, guys, you guys are going to be able to see the board. You could see it a little bit here, and we were going to prop another camera here, but that new chessboard again.
New chessboard is prime.
So by the way, the new chessboard, the pieces move by itself.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we're giving away too much.
Yeah,
We're giving away too much. We're just scratching the surface a little, so I can't really reveal too much.
Just like that, right back again. Okay. See, there's no love in this.
So I moved during your mid-thought. What were you saying?
But
Showing up, or what was the name?
showing up for
Showing up.
like same thing as working out.
Same thing.
It's a hard wall to push through.
Yeah.
If you make it hard,
Yeah.
you just gotta empty your cup. Is what it really is. Not going in with expectations. That's the thing when you're going to work out. Like, oh, I gotta do all these push-ups and sit-ups and run all these miles. You shouldn't even think about that. You should just think about, let me go to the gym first.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta go to the gym. It's not what you have to do. It's where you have to be.
Yes. Also, if you find yourself about to do something and you know it's good for you, and you know you probably have to show up, but you don't feel like it, and you really, whether it's physically or mentally, you're not there. There's like this pain point. That's when you know there's growth. It's exactly like when you're working out, when you burn out.
Yes.
First few reps are okay. You're like, oh, I got this. And then toward the end, right, after that 10th or 12th or 20th or 30th rep, the shit start to burn, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when the magic is happening, when your muscles are burning. That's when your muscles are actually becoming, the cells are working extra hard. And through that pain is where you're actually growing. Right? Through that pain, you're growing. And so, it's the same with this. If you don't feel like making beats, or if you don't feel like going to that rehearsal, or if you don't feel like showing up to the gym, whatever it is, it's like the people that push through and do the things that they really feel like they just don't have it in them to do, but they push through and they do it anyway. That's the difference between the champions and the people that are just stagnant, sitting around and not accomplishing anything. You have to go find those pain points. That's why I show up. When it's like 8 p.m., I'm fucking dead tired, because I had streamed from 9 a.m. to 3, and then I did emails, and then we did this, and then I went home, hung out with my daughter, put her down, cooked dinner.
Driving too.
Right, which is nice. It's exhausting having a kid, but not like in this way where I feel like it's the best type of exhaustion.
Yes.
But shit, by 8:30, like, I'm taxed. But what do? I go back in my car, and I come back here, and I sacrifice my time and my physical body and mental, and I push through more. It's like, fuck it. I made 8 beats this morning, but I'm gonna push through and make 2 more from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Fuck it. That's how I know that I'm not only showing up, but I know I'm outperforming other people by just simply showing up more.
That's so true.
And when you outperform yourself as well, things just become more clear. Things become more clear.
Feels autonomous almost.
Mm-hmm.
Every situation, it's like, oh, I have something for that, or you know where I am, and it stops a lot of unexpected things because you have it set in stone.
Yeah.
And you're, like I said, you're always prepared, or someone knows where to find you, or how to get what they need from you, because it's all set into place to provide for whatever you need to. And I love
Exactly.
that. If I need to get you to hear something, I know you're going to be here at this time.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's really cool to be in that environment, because the way I used to work was I would wake up, do something that's athletic, go meet people, get some food, clean the place, the house, my studio, and then, all right, now that everything's set, I'm ready to make music, and then I'll make something, or I'll watch something to get me inspired and go. And I always had to have this certain energy to do it. And in my mind, that's the way I thought. You have to make music.
Yes.
You got to be inspired. You got to want it. You got to feel it. And the days that you don't force it. And for some people, that's true. But I think that when you change your environment is one thing, and another thing is just showing up probably solves everything else. Everything else that you think is an ailment is not really an ailment until you do it. And from me being here every day, all the issues that I used to have, I no longer have, because, I don't know what I'm gonna make. Well, I know I'm ready for it because I'm here every day. So I start making something as a reflex. Mm-hmm. And I hate this, because I was like, in my mind, he can't be right. No, that's not. No, that's just his way. But I got a different way completely. Like, that doesn't mean that it's my way. Mm-hmm. And no. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is.
You're spitting facts, bro.
That's just how it is. I just don't want to accept it.
You're spitting facts. Okay. We're going to delay this process a little bit, because I wanted to kill you or capture you.
Yeah.
One way, but we're going to have to capture you in a different way.
Sure.
But regardless, it's still going to happen.
You took that one, and then you showed up.
So that's a check. I got checkmated by someone. I took their queen. I took all their bishops. I took all their rooks. And this guy checkmated me with his knights.
After all that,
he checkmated me with most of his knights.
It's like doing all the work
bro.
Just for somebody to.
One of my most disappointing losses of all time.
You had it in the bag. You were waiting for the receipt, man.
Yeah, it was bad. The number one question I get is from producers: how do I get placements?
Now, question.
From your experience.
Excuse me.
And from the stories I've told and what you've seen us do.
Yes.
And even Checkmate getting placements.
Yes.
Like Seduce, Russ, feature. Dave East, Ryan Trey, and then other ones that we can't mention yet. Tell them a little bit about the stories behind, like, what are some of the common denominators of how those placements happened for Checkmate and for you too, like the ones that you have come up.
I would like to say this. The question shouldn't be how do I get placements. It should be how do I get relationships. And that should surely be the question, because I don't think any placement that I've seen someone else get wasn't through a relationship with someone. Even ourselves, like everything that Checkmate has or anything that I have is 100% through a relationship and a want of somebody to either work with me or through meeting them, and then I pass a vibe check, and then
Deontay Hitchcock, there's another one.
Entirely. That was 1,000% that, and anything with anyone else or any other artist that I know personally was because we developed a relationship personally, and then they mess with who I am as a person, and that gives them, sometimes they might not love everything that I do musically, but they'll push themselves to find or give the opportunity to,
because they know you, trust, relationship.
So for Checkmate, it's the same thing. For myself, it was always meeting, having a conversation, having real life discussions, and then the same thing with Sid.
Yeah, Sid. We had a session with Sid. Shout out to Sid.
And Sid's like,
it's just a vibe. It's crazy. I called her. I was in LA. It was a random time I was in LA, and we had talked a few times prior to that, never in the studio. And it wasn't even like, hey, like, come to the studio and let's record a song. It was like, yo, come through and hang. If you feel like recording, fine. And what did? We talked for like 3 hours. You guys hung out. We didn't make shit.
Not one thing was played.
Yeah, we didn't play. We didn't pass the aux. Mm-hmm. We didn't say, do they, like, just chill. And I've seen her like multiple times. I saw her at the Timberland camp, and then a couple other times. And there's just always a vibe with her. Like,
just
the way it should be.
distinct, cool individual, very human individual.
So that is Checkmate, my friend.
So this is the part where I try to figure out if I can accept this or not, and if there's something that you might have overlooked possibly. Mm-hmm. And you really wrote it out pretty.
This is the part where you take this shot and accept the L, but at least you aren't missing enzymes, because if I took the shot, I would literally turn into that color.
I agree.
So that's why I can't lose. Otherwise, I'll turn red on camera, and like no one wants to see that. Wait, I think you're right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can go there.
Not taking a shot just yet.
No shots for lyric yet.
Just yet. No shot just yet.
Because you just caught me. I think.
I'll take that.
You know what? I'm gonna take a little shot.
Oh. Now what a turn of events. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Oh my God.
It's not nice.
I'm gonna take a shot because I made a mistake. Okay.
I want to bring up BLAP.
Yes, let's talk about it.
All right, BLAP. Now, what it stands for? My question is, what is your belief when it comes to family? Because belief, love.
Yes.
What was the A?
Action,
and then
positivity.
Boom. So belief when it comes to family, because you have a lot of belief in a lot of different things, but some people are like Dominic Toretto. It's all about family, right? Other people are like, family, blood is thicker than water type of situation, and others are like, sometimes I got to choose my family.
Yeah.
What is your belief when it comes to the dynamic of family?
So my belief when it comes down to family is that family is everything. I mean, family's first, whether it's blood family or non-blood family, whatever you consider to be the tribe of people that are most important to you, that are closest to you, that are providing for you, or that maybe you're a provider for.
Yes.
It's the group of the most important people in your life, and for obvious reasons, most of the time that's the person you marry or your significant other, and then your kids, and then and so on and so forth. But I think that all this stuff that we do, all this like strategy and like working and earning money and just like all the things we do in life are for the tribe. They're not for us, right? At some point in our life, the purpose becomes bigger than us. It's it's for us individually, and to a certain extent we could be selfish in a way where it's like, I'm doing this for like self-fulfillment, to like be independent and like do things I want to do, and then I could be a provider for others. But I think that regardless of if you're a provider or not, the tribe, the family that's the backbone. Those are the people that we do everything we do for. And hopefully there's a world where if you're watching this, you do have some type of tribe, and if you don't, that's okay. But everyone's meant to have a tribe, and if you keep going on the path you're meant to go on, you're going to meet those people eventually. Oh, interesting. What are you doing?
I feel right. Like what?
Now we're playing chess.
No, I don't want to raise the roof, because this is not a raise the roof moment whatsoever.
What do you value more? Getting major placements from already established artists, or contributing and building up a new artist? Don't give me the answer that you think people want to hear. Give me the answer that like genuinely excites you the most. Not to say that the other one doesn't excite you. So basically, what excites you more? Getting like a big placement on a big album from like an artist that's already big, or going through the process of like developing a smaller artist and then growing with them? which will obviously take more time and energy and risk. Which one excites you more?
Entirely the smaller artists. And that's why I got into music.
Yeah,
I wanted to be able to work with cool things that are fun and exciting and build stories. It was always awesome to work with someone that I'm a fan of, for sure, but at the same time, one of my biggest things, I don't want to lose being a fan.
Exactly.
And I would love to know some of these individuals, but I really don't want to stop having that allure. And, you know, when your heroes stop being your heroes. And it's eventually going to happen. But at the same time, it's not a negative thing whatsoever, because I've met plenty of artists that I like, and I still love them even more, if anything. But I've never really been concerned with placements or really put on a place. Like, it would do me beneficially.
Obviously, yeah.
Great. Like, I was more concerned with Tomei having placements than myself.
Yep.
Because she needs it for what her path is in life, and trajectory, but for what I want, not at all. And I think that also says a lot about where I am in life and my character and my motivation, because I want to be of service. I love that, and that's why I started. I'm being a service for Tomei, a service for any artist that I work with, and as a DJ, this is not a nice play right here.
It's not nice. You have a play though.
Or what's a brand that you really like? Like every time that it comes to like music software, or when it comes to, let's say, technology, what's a brand that like every time they do something you want to tune in?
Sega. Yeah. It's just like the characters, the games, just basically everything that they've ever really done has been like super exciting.
Recently there's been a lot of influx, it seems like, online, with plenty of entertainment going on that I didn't think was entertaining prior.
Yeah.
And so much of the things that used to be really funny are kind of not funny anymore, because it's just oversaturated. And I've been finding humor in kind of old school things now. This might be an old head perspective for me, you know, and I'll take that if it is. But I've been going back on like Eddie Murphy movies.
They were the best.
And like truly laughing.
They're raw.
You know, or even early Dave Chappelle's stuff. Like, you can always go there, but
yeah, exactly.
You know, Nutty Professor and things like that are silly, or going back to Beverly Hills, Billy Cops, or a lot of comedians in that. Who I'm really liking right now is like when I go on YouTube and I'm watching Charlie Murphy takeouts or edits or anything Charlie Murphy related, because he's just even funnier because he's so raw and aggressive, right? Kind of like how you're playing right now, very aggressive, and I'm afraid.
No, you're doing some very good defensive moves. There's a million things. There's a million ways this is gonna play out. So. I'm finishing this, dogs. We're finishing our drinks.
Yeah, we're finishing our drinks. I actually need another one. Not really.
No?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. It's slight blush. You know, like Victoria's Secret blush. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and color correct that later.
Yeah, we're gonna go. You know, it could be the pink lights that's influencing the blush.
Could, yeah. It's getting pinker in here.
Exit strategy. Did you ever have an exit strategy for what you're doing?
You mean in general? Absolutely not. No plan B, no fallback plan at all. Because once you put attention to it, you make it real.
Ooh, I like that.
I have zero belief that there's a plan B, because it doesn't exist. It's not even, there's no chance. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
And so, because it doesn't exist, it never will. Yeah.
That's spice.
Yeah. It's a complete obliteration of a plan B. And so plan A is life. Plan A is life. It's the only plan. Oh, that's it when you're on a means.
Who's your favorite female actor?
It's Lion King. My daughter loves that movie. Favorite female actor? Yo, that's tough.
Yeah.
There's some good ones.
Because there's a reason why a female actor.
Whoopi Goldberg is up there.
Really?
Yeah.
I
just always love her character.
That's a right hook.
Her character is always like, oh, I love her.
Yeah.
You know, she's never a villain. She's super, like,
it's
wholesome, important, knowledgeable, like uplifting. Whoopi Goldberg, bro.
Yeah.
Is that a crazy answer?
That is it. It's a very unsuspecting answer.
Whoopi Goldberg is the shit. She's got a clean slate.
Yeah.
She's chilling.
That's a good career, good life right there.
That's a really good life.
You don't hear anything about Whoopi doing anything crazy. No. She was just putting in work.
She puts in work, bro.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, she puts in work.
Like, for real. Do you think in every industry there's a focus group of people that's trying to figure out what's the best way to determine futures in that particular business?
Yeah, I think that all successful businesses, first of all, are very, very, very hip and familiar with the people they're selling to. Or I don't even want to say selling to, the people that they're providing value for. Because I'm assuming that you're in the business of providing a value or a service. And then you become mindful of like the lifespan of your demographic, or your customer, right? So like Disney, right?
Yeah.
Disney is literally winning your heart over from birth to death. They're appealing to adults. They're appealing to kids. They're appealing to teenagers. They have every stage. Like, we watch Star Wars.
That's Disney.
We're adults, but we watch Star Wars because they know. So they cover every generation of a human, and they take you through a pipeline of your whole life. So my daughter Disney is probably going to be part of her life for the rest of her life. She will be a forever customer and consumer of Disney. So, to answer your question, yeah. You know, very, very, very smart.
That's something.
I'm going to do an interesting move here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this?
I don't think so. Aha. Excelsior. And lastly, this knight can go one space over, but two up, or it has to go. Okay.
Yeah, I can go here. I can go here. I can go here.
So dynamic.
I can go here. I can go there. That's why knights are special.
Shake things up, right? I like it.
Shake it up, man. Give me a challenge.
Why did you say that?
What a dick. Yeah. It's, you know, making samples is really just making a beat without doing the drums. That's all it is. And because you guys are so musical, and because, you know, Checkmate is a songwriter, I just find that to be like just one of the more obvious, really easy things that you guys can do and just get good at. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Checkmate.
What would you do with a Klondike bar?
I move here.
This is truly...
This was a really good game.
Wow.
You're good at this. You're like way above average. You came across like you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, but you obviously know what you're doing. You lasted 2 hours with me. But to be fair, I am a little drunk, and we also made it a little fun. So.
We made it very fun. It very fun.
No, but you're good, dude.
And wow.
Yeah.
This is my first physical game. Seriously.
Isn't it fun? We're doing this again.
Yeah.
Take your goddamn shot. And guess what? I'm gonna take a sip with you. Episode 1, Mindset Podcast.
Mindset.
Amazing fucking game, lyricless song. Shout out to all you guys, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You know the fucking vibes. You have to finish that. Go. Come on. Set the precedent. Oh! My guy. Swallow it. Pause. Swallow it. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys.
Until next time.
Good game.
That's so warm.
Peace.